Hey guys, welcome to Manga Punk channel. So today we have another behind the ink with Mr. Kai. So what's up, Kai?
Yep. Hey.
Nothing else to say. That's it. That's it. Like introduce yourself, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Kai. I go by artist_Kai10 on Instagram. Right now, I don't really have much one-shots to promote or anything, but right now I am published in Manga Punk or I have like a one-shot in Manga Punk right now.
Yeah.
That you can cop in the pre-order right now.
Yeah.
I think
would you like to share the title of your one-shot, please?
You know, I actually don't want to share the title. I think this should be a surprise.
Okay.
I don't actually.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, you'll see the title of the very nice title and by Kai. So yeah, you'll know what time it is. It's a one shot thing. So yeah, Kai is like good at doing. So the reason why I picked Kai and I asked him to be in our magazine and do one shot and more projects are on the way with him. I like his art style, unique art style. I like his expressiveness in his art. I like also that I already told you, but told you, Kai, not the people watching, but or listening. But what I like the most is like your dialogue, character relationship, how they interact with each other, the way they talk is so fluid, concise. What I like more, there's no like info dumping. I like I just like how it flows. Like you can make like short sentences. Like they're kind of where I don't say like a brick wall of text or stuff like that. It's really to the point, direct. It reminds me really a lot of the classic style of narration. Before you had those big like worlds with lore and all that big like you need to write. You know what I mean? I like that straightforward. Actually. Yeah, okay, you know what your work reminds me of? Rumiko Takahashi. That's the first person I think of. No, because the way she tells stories is like it snaps, it's straight to the point. There's no like huge ass flashbacks and stuff like that. It just like it flows perfectly. Like the joke is like a lot of like physical like slapstick, in the expression. Like I honestly feel like I don't know if you check her work, but if you read her manga, your work reminds me like of Ranma in comedy style, or just how the people act, or what else? Yurusei Yatsura reminds me of this about you. These two mainly. That's what it reminds me of. These two. So if you guys like, or if you guys are looking for like good comedies, like you can check Ranma or Yurusei Yatsura. Shout out to them. Shout out to Rumiko Takahashi. So, Kai, what do we have here on the screen? It's your storyboard, right?
Yeah, so right now I'm storyboarding 4 pages of a 6-page comic, and then afterwards you're going to see the process of 2 pages from something.
So, what do we have here?
So, right now I'm storyboarding 4 pages of a 6-page comic, and afterwards you're going to see a process of 2 finished pages from something.
Okay, yeah. So, first thing I noticed, like what I like about your storyboard, like the way you storyboard. Even when you sent me yours like a while back, like of another story, like they're very small. Like they're super tiny. Like, is it? Do you zoom in? Like, do you zoom in, or you just like? Is it the size?
I zoom.
Yeah, I don't. I know you do. It's not the size of your screen we're seeing right now, but it's like. Damn, the page is huge. How? Or I don't know. Like, can you talk about it?
Yeah. So the idea is the smaller the pages are, the less you kind of have to draw, or it feels like that. So you feel more engaged in the small area.
Mm-hmm.
And when I storyboard, I like to make it kind of sketchy and just ink on top of that if I can.
Yeah.
So having this super tight, thin space to work in is kind of like. I can put all the detail I want easily and quickly. Things over, however. But if I'm working with a big canvas, I feel super overwhelmed kind of with how big the canvas is. And I draw all this stuff But if it's super tiny, I'm like, okay, I make a mistake, I can just.
Oh, okay, I understand. So since it's smaller, it's like, oh, I can take care of this quickly, like right away. So yeah, I was about to say like, is it that Dragon Ball character? And then I see the red Ruben army. So yeah, it was. So right now you're just
when I storyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I storyboard, if there's a part where I'm like kind of stuck and I don't know what to go, I just already done it.
Okay.
I jump back into the board with that.
Okay.
Momentum.
So you go here and there, and you're drawing some Dragon Ball character. I mean, and I was gonna ask something. Yeah, about your sketch process, like the storyboard, right? Do you write directly on the bubbles?
Yeah. It's difficult for literally everyone else on the planet to read it, but when I see it, I know what's supposed to be important.
Yeah, for you, yeah, exactly. As long as you understand, it's fine. Yeah, unless you're working with someone else and he might have to see it, but other than that, as long as you understand, it's totally fine. But yeah, I'm always like I was impressed by your storyboarding because it's so like squeezed in, and you just do the sketches and you add the bubbles, and to be honest, it's very, like, from what I can see, it's kind of like well done in the sense that, you know, the paneling and stuff. So my next question is like, how do you go with the paneling? So because it seems like, you know, the way you did it seems like very natural. You just know how to place the characters, how to place the panel. So what goes in your mind when you do the paneling and placing characters, placing like scenes and all that stuff?
Yeah. So when it comes to paneling, what I typically think of, paneling isn't as more important to me as like composition. When I'm thinking of paneling, I'm thinking strongest points or points that I want the reader to stay focused on. If the panel is smaller, then they spend less time on it. So I use bigger things to show people this is important, or you should look at this.
Okay.
And the smaller panels are like less important.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So the bigger panels, bigger information, smaller panel, like less important information. But like right now, you see the drawing the ghost girl, right? So how did you come up with the paneling for this idea? Did you just say, oh, I'm gonna draw the character here and I'm gonna slash, like, pretty much what I'm asking is like, did you think a lot about how to do the panels, or you just do like automatically, okay, I'm just gonna put a line here, put 3 panels down here, like that? Or like, is there, you know what I mean? What do you think about first?
Yeah, so when I was thinking about it, I actually took it from Dandadan. There was something similar in Dandadan where the panels were cut a certain way. I found that super interesting. I decided to also put that in here and try to put my own spin on it.
Okay.
Obviously, the panels or what's inside the panels is so different.
Yeah, of course. So did you like go check, let's say, some manga pages, then you came back to doing the panel, or you already knew that you were gonna do it that way?
I was looking through Dandadan because sometimes I don't know what to do with a panel.
Okay, so I understand. So what references do you use? Do you mostly use Dandadan? Do you use any other manga, or which manga do you like to go through?
Dandadan, Call of the Night, a lot of different romance series, kind of, because the paneling in shoujos or rom-coms are usually a lot
different.
Better than,
yeah.
Or not usually, but different than,
yeah,
I guess, shonen.
Yeah, of course.
What I'm aiming for. So.
Yeah. And what difference do you notice when you compare like shoujo paneling to shonen ones?
They use longer panels in terms of like vertically. They're just longer. And I like the compositions that you can get with a vertical panel.
For shoujo, they tend to be longer vertically.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
So that's what I've noticed, kind of.
Okay, that's cool. And I see you drawing some characters. I guess you were just like you say, you were just like blowing off some steam, or just like, you know, stretching, you know, little warm up.
Yeah.
Until you go back. Which brings to my next question.
Yeah.
Like, how do you design your own characters? How do you design them?
Typically, what I think about is the intention of the character and also what looks cool. For me personally, what I like about characters, especially recently, it's in Jujutsu Kaisen, which I don't like, by the way, but still gonna die. The trainers, even My Hero Academia, the trainers and the characters are usually super nice. So I like to implement some of that.
Okay, so you like their designs.
Interesting designs for different characters. So make the designs for characters as different.
Yeah, so you like to make characters completely different. Is that basically what you're saying? Like
yeah.
Like because I noticed too, like your art, the characters, they tend to be different in hairstyle or size or weight or whatever, like, or clothing. Yeah, they tend to be extremely, like, well, maybe not extremely, but they tend to be like very like distinguishable. That's one thing I noticed about your work that I really like. So looking.
It can be difficult if you all have the same costume. It can be difficult to make characters.
True. Also about your, when you do your characters, right? And why did you put an X here?
I'm gonna redraw that.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes.
Okay. So I was gonna ask. So when you do your character, right? You do the I forgot the word. You do the anatomy, like the model first before drawing the the face and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
sometimes I do draw the face.
Like right now, you see how you're drawing that character. That's what I mean. Like the anatomy and everything. So
I mean, I like to put all that down first. I have the easily put the clothes on and stuff like that.
So about that, like, what goes through your mind, like, when you do a pose, what kind of pose do you usually prioritize? Because I saw you earlier, you did like different poses. Oh, that's not good. So then you find one pose that hits. So what's your what's your methodology when you do poses?
Usually I'm not thinking how to draw something anatomically correct all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Because what I'm usually thinking about is the character's personality. So basically, what pose would this character make if they, we're gonna make a pose? Like if I made like a character who's not confident, have a confident pose.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit. So
yeah.
You have to keep drawing the pose and figure out what kind of pose this character would make and what kind of.
Because one thing I noticed with your work through, your poses are very dynamic. They never look too static. Like, for example, just the image with the ghost, like, floating, standing. She's not, her arms, they're doing something with her arms, they're doing something with her hands, like they're not just standing there. They're like, that's what I like about your drawings too. Your characters, they always seem to be doing something with their movement.
Yeah.
So this is another page. Oh, this is still of the same project, right?
Yeah, the same project.
Okay. And right here, can you talk more about your project, like what it is? What is it?
So it's for a little manga thing that's going on right now. So I'm gonna submit there, see how that goes. But right now, I guess I'm trying to figure out. Basically, the story is this ghost kind of feeds off people's fear. So it tries to scare people, and it's bothering this college student. So when she scares him, she sort of eats his fear, and she needs his fear to survive. So right now she's kind of starving because she hasn't scared him in a while because she's used to all her tricks. So essentially, after this and at the end, we're going to be the punchline of, she scared him again, and she still exists. Because if she doesn't eat the fear, then she just.
Yo, that's pretty original. Yeah, I really like your stories. They're always like goofy. I really like them. It really matches like the expressiveness of their character, and it's just the whole style, the you know, the whole thing. Yeah, it's like I said earlier, like Rumiko, man, like the goofy, you know, goofy style and narration and story and like those plot twists. I really like it. I'm also looking at your page. So what's your, how can I ask? What page format or size do you usually use?
Usually, sometimes I use, it depends on the project. I think for this specific one, it's probably A4 size paper because that's what the
A4,
huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but usually it's like A5, maybe A6. But
Okay.
it's one of the custom templates on Studio. I don't make my own templates.
Yeah, it's one of the custom templates on CSP, right? Clip Studio. Okay. So, but
Yeah.
which one is this? Is it the Shonen Jump one or the another one, Kodansha? Or...
No, this one's A4.
What's the name?
A4 size paper.
Oh, A4. Oh my god. Okay, I thought you said the preset. Okay, A4. Yeah. So, is it your favorite size? How do you feel about A4? Sometimes I feel like it's too small. It might be me, but just sometimes, man, I don't know. What about you?
Maybe it is. Usually I just use A5. Well, I think sometimes I use B6. I use B6.
B6, yeah.
Which I think is the standard size, maybe.
Yeah.
For manga.
Yeah, but I feel like just for the story you're doing right now, you know, it's like some short story and comedy, and it doesn't need to be that huge, I guess. And it doesn't, you know, even the paneling when you do it, you don't need to do anything too crazy, I think. So A4 is a good size for this current project. But the other projects you're doing, I don't know. Maybe you know what's best when you do it. But yeah, for this one, I could see it. I see it being A4 totally. I just like how you do how it develops. Like you don't do the panels in order. You just jump to one panel, you jump to another panel. Like you pretty much do whatever you want, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Do you go?
I mean, sometimes these are like breaks, so I might go somewhere and then come back, and I might be like find it difficult to jump back into what I was doing before. So I jump to a different spot and start there.
Yeah. Okay. Do you also go by, let's say, oh, this panel it takes less time to take, so I'll just do this one, like you just go by like how you feel, right? There's no like, oh, this one is smaller, so I'll start.
Basically.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm lazy, sure.
Yeah.
If it'll be quicker.
If it'll be quicker, yeah, more effective. So here right now you're doing the hands of the character, well, the hand of the ghost, I would say. Yeah, you're pretty good at drawing hands. Like me, hands, it's a challenge. I won't lie.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not that good at them. I'm so bad at them.
Really?
Like, I try and draw poses that I've drawn like so many times.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't have to redraw the same hand.
Yeah, but you're
like couple hands to get 4 fingers together.
Yeah, but your style is not realistic, so the hands they good. They fit the style. They fit the style. And that's what I was gonna ask as well, like your art style, right? Because it's very unique, but it's also very recognizable. Like you can tell that it's manga, you know, just because the eyes and the simple nose and the mouth. So, and also the, you know, like on the panel at the bottom, you know, the 1, 2, 3, the fourth panel with the guy's goofy face, like it's very manga-esque. And so what are your inspirations for your art style? Because like I said, it's recognizable but so unique at the same time. So what inspired you, like, with the art style? What are your references?
Yeah, mostly Dandadan. I think I take a lot of stuff from Dandadan.
You really like that manga? Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I really did.
and just so you guys know, like
the manga called
the manga called what?
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, just so you guys know, Kai knew then before it was cool. Just so you know, he knew it before it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I read the first chapter when it's out.
You read what?
Like, as soon as that chapter dropped, I read it.
Really?
I read the first chapter as soon as it dropped.
As soon as it, damn. Okay,
I think I did.
Okay, you're an OG. Okay, don't mess with Kai, man. He knows what's cool before everyone. Don't mess with him. Yeah, but what were you? I think you're gonna say something else. Like, oh yeah, your inspiration. So Dan Dan Dan, and what else?
Yeah. There's a manga called Chain Soldier. I don't read it, but it has some good expressions and good poses.
Okay.
Because the art is really good.
Okay.
But the manga itself, I think it's a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's good art. So.
I'm a bit not surprised, but I'm a bit like, damn. So you've read Dan 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 since chapter 1 drops. I didn't know it was like that much of an influence. Like, I knew you were like inspired by some stuff, but I didn't know it was like that deep. But now that you said that, I'm looking at your work and I'm like, yeah, I can see it. You know, I'm thinking about like the expressiveness, the goofiness, and everything. And I feel like that's a good thing that I didn't really recognize it, because, you know, usually people get inspired by your work and it tends to look exactly the same, or, you know, it's, you know, you look at some work and people like, let's say this thing, I got inspired by I don't know, I got inspired by JJK, for example, and it's like, yeah, I can tell, like, you don't need to tell me, right? But when I look at your work, it didn't cross my mind. Like, I know it was one of your favorite, and there are some similarities in goofiness, but it's not a copy at the same time. I'm not thinking like, this is Dan Dan Dan, this is Dan Dan Dan. So it's kind of cool that you were able to do something, like get inspiration from something and still make it very unique. So my question about that is like, how do you know, take inspiration from something? Personally, like, what's your method of like taking inspiration from something but adding your own touch without being like a copy of it, you know? Like I said, you know, it doesn't look like Dan 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 to me. It looks like Kai. So what's your view on this?
I mean, I don't think it's wrong or bad to like have a super similar style to someone.
I agree.
Because I think, yeah, like, you lay a base, and as you start to know what you like, you start to sprout out and choose different stuff that you like to add into that, and then it becomes a whole different thing anyway. I think a lot of artists that I like start off the set, but for me personally, I don't really have a base per se. I just choose from other things that I like. Basically, just bringing in stuff I like from Dan Dan, which
you just sprinkle around what you like.
Exactly. But first you have to know what you like, and sometimes you don't know what you like until you explore, or maybe you like everything about a specific style. Maybe it's MHA, maybe it's Kaizen Chainsaw Man. But however it is, you know, you choose one of these things that you really like, you copy that a lot, and then you figure out parts that you actually don't like, or parts that you do like. So, because I think every artist has stuff that you won't like, even if you admire them.
True.
But there's something that they do that you don't like, so you just get rid of that, and you'll put something else in that maybe you like.
Yeah. And are you the kind of person that reads things you don't like just to learn from them, or you just straight up stay with what you like?
Honestly, I'm trying to read stuff that I don't like. But
well, maybe not don't like, but let's say you're less into, you know, like, are you open, do you keep an open mind to other stuff? I feel like that would be like a more accurate question.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to get into a lot of the newer shonen stuff, or whatever Shonen Jump out nowadays, to stay up to date, to see what they're doing and what I can learn from it. But usually I just read rom-coms.
Okay.
Like, not as much shonen stuff.
Okay.
But I want to get into shonen stuff.
Yo, your page just killed. I'm just dead because you know the panel did like, you just make X. It felt like a movie. It's like X, redraw page, like a computer. It's as if some computer just came in and like, and you're just redrawing like nothing happened. So why did you redraw this page? Because it seemed pretty good to me. Okay, I understand kind of why, but it seemed decent. So what made you like redo the page?
For me, the expression was pretty neat, and I feel like there wasn't enough movement in the character itself. I think it's common that I sort of get rid of things, get rid of whole panels, and then redo them. Because I don't know, for how I am, if I do something, then I try and retain a lot of the stuff that I learned. For example, I'm using reference on the previous one, and I'm taking from different sources. So
okay.
I'm trying to redo that, but this time, I have a better understanding of, how to make it more dynamic after I did a little bit of studying.
Okay, I understand. So
when I X'd it actually took me a day or two to come back to actually doing it.
Yeah, well, I was about to ask, like, that's the question I was about to ask, like, how long did it took you to do this page? So it took you like 1 or 2 days, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, around that time.
And
I did a lot of it on one day.
Yeah, one day. Okay. And if you do, let's say, if you sit down and do a page like for the whole day, like you stay and you do the page from beginning to end, like what's the average? How long does it usually take you to do like one page average if you sit down and focus on the page?
Well, each panel usually takes 1 hour, 30 minutes. So I kind of time it when I can. So depending on how many panels there are on a page, it will affect how long it takes. But it's fair to say 5-6 hours maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because we're watching the video right now and things are going quickly, but what you're saying, I'm assuming like the panel like we're looking at it right now, I'm assuming that it's taking you 1 hour, right? Something like that?
Yeah, it takes a while.
Would you say that it's because you're attentive, or would you say you're just naturally like maybe taking your time? Is there any specific reason you think why it takes you that long, or is it the average, or what do you say about that?
Well, because here I want to put as much as I can into it. I guess it's taking a lot longer to the whole page itself, because I want to put as much into it as I can, because it's one of the earlier pages of the short story. So I want to grab people's attention.
I get it.
With the expression. But later on, let's be honest here, I'll start to get a little bit more lazy, and I won't put as much work as I did into this page.
Yeah.
But it won't look terrible, but at the same time, I won't have to go back and redraw all these panels. And take the time to study and all that stuff.
What brush do you use for that? The strokes you just made, like, what brush is it?
That's actually the G pen tip, but depending on how much pressure you put on it and how big.
Okay, because it really looked like brush. I don't know how to say, but old style brush. I don't know. It just felt like you used a different brush, but
yeah.
So you use
something I got from Rent a Girlfriend.
The what? Rent a Girlfriend? What?
Yeah. It's a manga.
No, I know, but what? Oh, you took a lot of inspiration from that? That's what you're saying?
Oh, the thing that I did just now that you were talking about,
the stroke. Oh, okay, yeah.
The G-pen.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Okay, it comes from there. Like what is? It's when the character moves or something. What does it represent in the Rent a Girlfriend manga?
It's mostly when characters are in the foreground. They have a thicker line, like super thick, like that.
Okay. Oh, that's very, you take a lot of inspiration from rom-coms and stuff like that. I guess that also explains why you're so good at, now that I think of it, that explains why you're so good at making character relationships and just dialogues and stuff, because you've been reading that. So yeah, anyone making shonen, please read rom-coms, because you need to make good dialogues and good like character relations, man, because you also like one thing I would say, like, for anyone wanting to make, and the only reason I bring it up is because these days shonen are very popular, but if we want to get good action, if you want to make good action manga and stuff, I would highly suggest you read outside of shonen. Please do, like, I beg you, please read outside of shonen too, because there are so many like type of stories you can get insight from, inspiration from, and if you only stick to one genre, like, how can you bring something new to the table and kind of revolutionize it if you don't look at other styles, like? So I would suggest, like, you be kind, man, like, read rom-coms read stuff like that, because it also really helps with character relationship and stuff like that. Now, it's like now it totally makes sense why your characters are so like organic, why the dialogue flows so well and everything, and the emotions can be felt and everything, because that's the thing when you read like romance and stuff like that, or shoujo, like that's what they bank on, that's what they prioritize, right? Like making characters you can like put yourself in their shoes or stuff like that. Like you can you just feel something, you just feel something for them, whether you like them or not, or agree or disagree, like and without delivering punches or anything. So you must make the characters attractive, like other than physically or just like swinging at each other. So I respect that. No, for real, you're good, man. You're good to go. Like I know that shonen and action isn't your thing, but if you ever do, I know you'll do well. I'm not worried for you, man. Like you're way ahead. I really like your ghost right now, the style you're making it, like the hatching and everything.
I wanted to make I wanted to follow like how ghosts have like I guess they sort of float, I guess. They don't have legs or anything.
Yeah. I wanted to make that typical ghost, yeah.
Because right now, if I gave her like legs, I feel like it wouldn't really fit.
Yeah, it just totally fits. I also see like I see that you do the onomatopeias or sound effects in Japanese. So how do you, how can I say, how do you do them? Like, do you know what it means? How do you select them since they're Japanese? Do you only do them in Japanese also as well?
Yeah, I mostly do them in Japanese because I take from other mangas that have I guess sound effects in a similar situation, and I use those. I mean, I can read these super basic ones, but usually I'm just taking from a manga that has a similar situation and I'm putting it there. Like, I'm not making it random to the point where
of course,
an explosion is like this chill theme.
I'm
taking from something that's chill and putting it.
Yeah, you don't want to use the sound effects like a random one that it says like kill everyone and it doesn't match the thing, But do you understand Japanese a bit, or can you read a bit, or I mean, you watch anime, so you watch. I assume you watch anime here and there, so you know some words. But in general, do you like? What's your level of understanding of Japanese?
I know hiragana and katakana. I know how to read them, but I mean, when it comes to kanji, I'm illiterate.
Yeah, I heard kanji is like hard for everyone. You're not apparently, even for the Japanese, it can be challenging at times. So you're not the only one. But talking about Japan, you personally, like, you're still like growing and working on your stuff. But if someone calls you, I don't know, if you're someone at your work and they call you like, yo, we like your work, man. We would like you. Would you like to be like in Shonen Jump or Kodansha or like Shonen Weekly or whatever, like, would you be willing to leave your home country to go to Japan and be published there?
I don't think I would, but I don't know. When it comes to, because I don't want to live in Japan, but I'm not that much of a weed, even though I think that I have family over here.
You have family in Japan?
I want to stick with them.
Oh, over here. Okay, I thought you.
No,
where you live. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You want to stick with your family. Okay, I understand.
So, I mean, if I was able to travel there and back and do whatever I need to do that way, I'd be down to do that.
Okay.
I think that's kind of how Boichi did that.
Wait, Bleach?
You have to pay a translate.
You said the Bleach?
I think he did. I didn't think he. Oh no, Boichi.
Oh, Boichi. Oh, boy, yeah. I forgot. Is he Korean? I genuinely forgot.
Yeah, he's Korean.
He's Korean, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he used to travel there and back and have his translator.
Okay. Well, in the world of today, everything's online, so I don't feel like. Well, of course, there are some meetings, and you gotta be there and all that stuff. But in general, I feel like you could do most of the things online. And I guess if there's a meeting, you just fly there and you go back home. But in general, you don't need I don't feel like you would necessarily need to have to be there. But let's say if you could be like stay where you live, would you be down? Is it something just in general working in the Japanese industry? Would it interest you?
Yeah, that would be something. Yeah, I'd definitely do that because I guess it's most mangakas dreams to be published and be able to make a living through work that way. I guess Japan is one of the countries that you'd be able to do that. I mean, seeing your stuff on the shelf or in a magazine with other things that you write in Japan would be a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah. Where do you think that you would be able to survive the weekly workflow?
No, I don't think I would. No, at this point.
You'd pick a monthly or something, I guess, or bi-monthly, or
yeah, with like 20 assistants maybe.
Yeah. With an army, with a huge army, yeah. Because right now you're alone, but if you have a team, you can go faster. But yeah, you're really good on your own. So if you have a team, it will definitely like help make things faster. But just by yourself, it's like you're already so amazing, So yeah, Japan would be like super like honored. It would be an honor for Japan to have you. I know that like it would be a huge win for them, especially in the romantic department.
Hey.
So, and how about working with other people? Let's say if you have editors and stuff like that. How do you feel about that? Like people like looking at your work, and because right now you're in independence, nobody really tells you what to do. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to work with an editor. I think it would be an experience. Like you'd learn a lot from it as a whole. Like how the industry works, what people like, what people don't like. I mean, even you learn more about an audience based on what an editor tells you. Like if an editor tells you, hey, make this, give these characters a romance, or don't do this or do that. It's like you know what to expect, what the audience will react to. Because the editor tells you shouldn't do this or that.
Yeah. Of course, I feel like
I guess editor is also one as good as possible to.
Yeah. But I add to that what you said. I feel like that's also important to know, when to agree and disagree with what they say. As long as they give advice and they did not like force you, or you know what I mean. But of course they give that. I mean, I respect the fact that they give that extra, that insight, because that overview, right? So I can respect that.
Yeah, I agree.
You were gonna say something?
Oh yeah. I forgot.
You what?
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot. Alright, it's fine. Anyway, the page is almost done. There's like a few. There's like 1 minute left or something. But I like this page. I like this page too. I really like it because. Just to be sure. Just let me see. Yeah, because I like how we saw the sketch first, and you just add the details, and you draw over it. You make sure everything is fine. Like I noticed like how that's what I like, how like attention to detail you are, like attentive to detail you are. Like I really like that. So do you zoom in a lot when you draw, because the details are so precise?
My what?
Do you zoom in a lot?
Oh yeah, I do zoom in.
Like really zoom in, because the details are so like precise. So I'm wondering like if you like zoom.
Pretty much super close. No, I do a lot of little lines. Makes it look more detailed, I guess, than a few big lines.
Yeah, I also noticed how you add a lot of white lines, subtle white lines.
Yeah.
That's a good trick, actually. Oh, page is over. So yeah, you're gonna show us something else, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're gonna move to the section like where you talk about a process, a tip that you're gonna give us, an art tip. So let's jump to that.
typically what people do, they think when people say you have good paneling, for example, if it's a compliment and they think your shots are cool and your stuff flows very well, they'll say you have good paneling, when in reality it's just composition that matters. In reality, paneling doesn't matter as much as most people think it does, even though it can make a page look better. I think typically you want to focus more on composition than anything else, because I don't know, when it comes to paneling, you can make any kind of panel border work. For example, paneling is just the squares, so any kind of paneling border that you use, you can make work any way you assemble it. It doesn't really matter how it looks like this. What matters is just what you put in it. So I have some examples drawn here, naturally. Okay. Here's the second example. As you can see, the same paneling, but different composition. And what happens is it makes the page flow a lot better if you consider whatever's going inside the page. You know, using the rule of thirds, using more interesting shots that are different, because when you use shots like this, where all the shots are like heads and they're chest up, what happens is it gets very boring and it feels very static. However, if you sort of change the shots, show some backgrounds, typically it makes the whole page more interesting overall. I'm going to talk about something else. Okay, introduction into something else that is similar to what I was just talking about, but also not really on the same topic. But I wanted to cover it anyway, because I don't do this often, to be honest. So, what we're going to talk about is establishing shots. So, typically, when people think of establishing shots, they're not wrong in thinking this, by the way, because this still works. But, like, what they'll think of is just showing the whole cityscape or whatever. That's a city, by the way. Anyway, they'll think of showing the whole cityscape or the whole landscape of whatever background it is that they're drawing. But in reality, you don't really need to show like a landscape like this if you don't want to. In reality, there's a lot of ways to show an establishing shot. Like, it doesn't even have to be the first thing that you see on a page. For example, in Dan, there's like a close-up of one of the characters. And after that, it shows the classroom and where Okuron is in the classroom. I think what's more important than showing an establishing shot that doesn't show any characters is like showing sort of where the character is in the space. Because in reality, I don't know how many people really care about where they are. Well, they do, obviously. But I think it's more interesting to show where the character is and also show the background, rather than just showing the background itself. And it's probably funner to draw, so you don't have to draw this big old cityscape. You can just draw the character in the town or in the classroom or whatever. And you can draw some classmates around, rather than just drawing like an outside of the school building, which still works, by the way. But I think it works better or it can still work if you choose to do it a different way, like this. Also, to add on to that, you can, let's say it's a tournament thing, and it's the first shot in the thing, and you want to show an establishing shot or show where the characters are. You can easily just make a shot like this. We can show the crowd over here, but it'll just be circles usually, but this will make the shots more interesting too, because like you're not just showing the outside of an arena or something like that. So even with this shot here, you could show some of the crowd cheering before you show this shot here. And I think that makes everything a lot more interesting when you really think about it. And it's easier to draw, quicker to draw. If you have deadlines, then it's probably better to do it like that. Obviously, cityscapes, everything else can work. Whatever people are telling you can still work. But I think it's better to try and make it easier and still interesting for yourself if you prefer to draw characters. I'm done. Okay, I'm going.
Yeah, so that is it, guys. So is there anything you would like to give us like any like advice or something, you know, any advice that's you've got regarding manga that's, you know, stuck with you and that you'd like to share with people?
Sure. Okay, so shonen people, read more rom-coms. Okay, I think that's a lesson today. Read more rom-coms.
Yeah, for real. Like, you gotta know, like, you listen, guys. Like, I love shonens, but you gotta know how to, like, even in a lot of modern shonens, I realize like character relationship are very iffy. Like, you know, when it comes to just love and hate and like just the whole thing, man. Like, yeah. So like, how can I say that? I don't know if there's a just relationships in general, right? Yeah, just it needs to be worked on. It needs to be worked on a lot, you know. I like this. Listen, I like swinging punches and everything, and I still love shonen, but these days, man, the characters, a lot of things, yeah, it needs to be worked on. And I'm talking mostly about like in the independent side, like, you know, like mainstream. How do you feel about the mainstream one in general, actually? Oh no, you don't read them, right? You don't really read them.
Not really. I mean, besides Dandadan, which
yeah, Dandadan, yeah. Well, let's use Dandadan. I feel like it's a good example of like relationships, relatability. Like, I like how the characters feel alive. I like how, like, you just want to be their friends, right? You just want to hang out with them. Like, that's how they feel. They feel real. Like, they're not perfect. They have their own flaws. I really like the characters from Dandadan because, yeah, they're goofy, but at the end of the day, like, they're just a cool bunch you just want to hang out with, and you want to know like what's gonna happen between the characters, like how they interact and stuff. So I feel like it's a good example, you know. But yeah, because even mainstream shonen, they don't, I understand that the focus is action, so they don't really focus on character, like a lot of interactions and relationship and building that, you know, that side of things, you know. But I still feel like it's important, you know. I said, you know, I don't know how many times, but
yeah,
everyone gets to a point. Let's end this. Also, is there is there anything you'd like to say, like any links or plugs, or, you know, time to plug?
Yeah, my Instagram should be in the description, I hope. So
I hope too. Yeah. Yeah, it will. Okay, so yeah, we'll just link your IG, your Twitter, and I think that's it. Not your home address. And yeah, and he's like he said at the beginning. No, I'm just joking. But like he said, he's part of the Manga Punk Magazine. The first issue, you'll see his one shot in it. And me and him were currently cooking something. Hopefully it will be in the second issue. We'll see. But yeah, me and Kai are cooking on something. You'll get more details in the future. So yeah, currently, as we're talking right now, magazine is up for pre-orders. The Manga Punk Magazine issue 1, Western Manga Magazine. So basically, it's a compilation of artists, skilled artists, writers, authors, and we made a big magazine, like more than 400 pages. The website is mangapunkofficial.com. You'll see the link in the description. So yeah, you can pre-order it, you can check it out. I'm AMAI KOBASHI, artist, author of Excelsior, artist of no published manga yet. Oh yeah, actually of Cypher. It's a one shot in the magazine, so you can check it out. And yeah, that's it. Keep an eye for a magazine. Keep an eye for Kai. He's cooking as well his own project. So see ya. Thank you. Peace.